Hello, people. What is good? Welcome to episode 3 of the Lockdown Sum Up, a brand new virtual debate show. As you can see, this episode we have a lot of new people. So hey, and let's introduce them real quick. So we have Ruth. Oh, sorry, Ruth. That's a bad time to say hello. We've got Nicholas. We've got Naila. We have Dami. We have Aaron. Karen. Okay. Rianne, Adekola, Rachel, and oh God, I forgot already. Lesha. Yeah, so the question today is the rise of hookup culture and online dating apps ruining relationships in the 21st, traditional relationships in the 21st century? And I know Ruth has had some notes prepared, so I'm gonna throw it to you first.
I love it. So about 10 years ago, the divorce rate was around 40%. Nowadays, it's just above 30%. So the divorce rate is going down. That's in the UK. So I personally don't think that the sort of hookup culture and dating apps and things like that necessarily have an effect on relationships per se. We are in the 21st century, so what even is traditional anymore?
I mean, I think divorce rate has gone down because no one's getting married anymore.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, I just think that people are waiting much longer. They're more focused on their career, and they're not as worried about that whole traditional, like, let me get married, have kids when I'm in my 20s. Like, people want to live their life.
I also think that's not necessarily a bad thing, because I feel like sometimes people, they rush the idea of love at a young age. Like in the 21st century, people tend to jump in the DMs. So I feel like a little bit it has kind of like affected the way we think now in relationships.
Even if you're on, any of these dating apps, they can lie to you the same way someone on Instagram or Facebook can lie to you. So it could be anywhere. You will never find somebody serious.
I think nowadays some people go into the dating lifestyle purely just to have a fling or to have sex. You find that as people get older, people tend to want to settle down. But unfortunately, your past and your action in the past will probably have an effect on, and it will catch up with you. A lot of the women who wanted to basically party their 20s away will now want to settle down. And then all that's left for the guys is just one or two select women who've actually decided to preserve themselves. And I mean, there's dating apps out there that is purely just for sex.
Wait, Aaron, I need to ask a question real quick. What do you mean preserve themselves? Can you expand on that?
He was talking on claart. Aaron came on claart.
This is not me trying to sound like misogynist or anything like that, but hashtag I'm with her, hashtag feminist.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but a lot of guys would not want to date girls that have been with X amount of guys. I was talking to this girl, yeah, and my friend, I showed her my friend, and he says to me, this girl has basically a bit of a past when it comes to sexual relationships. It turned out this woman had an incurable STD. But as a man, I don't want other men looking at my woman and it's like, yeah, I've already done my business with this girl.
That's impossible.
It's not impossible.
You can't control whatever someone has done in their past. Let's say she's been with one guy, or let's say she's been with 100 guys, and she just happens to run into that one guy that has been with her in the past. Not every guy is that immature that's going to be thinking like that. You know what I mean?
It's not immature to want to have a low body.
Yes, it is. It's very immature.
It's not immature.
I think that's a very immature way to look at it, because I think oftentimes that conversation always looks at what the woman's body count is. You can sleep with one person and catch herpes. You can sleep with 100 people and never catch an STD.
Yeah.
Your body count does not define who you are or what your sexual health may look like. Men statistically are more promiscuous than women. It takes two to tango. The same way, if you want a man to say, oh, what's your body count? Well, I'm going to say, well, what's yours too, sir?
Mm-hmm.
Like, from abortion being decided by men to rape cases often being presided over by men who say, oh, well, what was she wearing? But the conversation needs to be steered towards more, okay, well, if the woman's doing this, what is the people with the penises doing also?
Guys don't want a virgin.
I agree with everything you just saying. Like, girl, period. I feel like men can sleep with so many women. When it comes to a woman, we're looked at like, oh my gosh, we're a hoe.
So I'm supposed to be okay with my girls having to have much sexual history as she can. And then when she's ready to settle down, that's when, no.
Oh, what
I don't
about
buy
men?
that.
I mean,
Men, your clock,
You have the
men's
same.
clock is
I
high.
feel like everybody has
If
their
you're
own
allowed
thing.
to
Okay,
do
hold
that,
on, hold on, hold
you're
on.
allowed to do that.
Guys, we can't hear. When everyone talks, we can't hear. That's the problem.
You know, one of the things here in Canada, we were just looking up, and so divorce rates are actually projected to go up because of COVID. People are realizing that they don't have the patience with their spouse that they maybe did before. The other thing to keep in mind is all of those dating apps are a business, and businesses thrive in crisis. And so I truly believe that these divorce rates are going to continue to go up for multiple different reasons. And a lot of it has to do with the instant gratification that comes from being on a dating app and getting noticed and someone liking your picture or saying, hey, sexy, how are you? Or whatever, or that new flutter that comes through every time somebody has a new connection.
So in terms of marriage, I think sometimes we kind of forget the origin of marriage. Marriage was originally set out as a means for a woman to be passed over to another family. A dad giving away his daughter. Obviously now it's evolved and progressed to a stage where for a lot of people it is about love now.
I'm just going to put it out there straight up and say women are never going to win the argument, full stop, because either way, it's like if she hasn't had sex before and she's a virgin, then she's a prude. If she has had sex before or she's had it with loads of guys or even just a few guys, either way, she's a slut. I do really agree with what someone said before about getting noticed. But then either way, I feel like with marriages, it just depends on how strong your marriage is in the first place. But the only thing that is detrimental is probably like what Aaron said, is it's more for people to hook up. You don't really hear as many stories coming out of it of people actually saying, well, I actually did find my husband, you know, through a dating app.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I have a podcast called Dating App Disasters. I had literally the most crazy things happen that one could ever imagine, from being catfished, from having some guy try to abduct me. But it's like, it's basically just on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. But I have a quick question for Aaron, I believe. So what would be an acceptable number? Because no guy really wants a woman that's a virgin or like has one or two partners.
Honestly, I would prefer to marry a virgin because I'm a virgin. And
I was just going to say, it's because you're a virgin.
I was going to say, I feel like marriage in itself is kind of being attacked in this conversation. A lot of Western culture, especially in America, based upon Judeo-Christian values. And like I said, if we have a society where we can do whatever we want, we're asking for trouble. The same standards by which men measure women in terms of body count, nobody is stopping women from judging him like that. No one's stopping you from asking him, you know, how many men have you had, how many girls have you slept with and stuff like that. I've had girls say to me basically that they would never date someone like me because I'm a virgin. Where was my defense? Is that not slut shaming? Was that not virgin shaming? Is it one rule for women, one rule for men? You get what I'm saying? Like, I want the same energy.
I don't get what you're saying, and I think I don't get what you're saying. I respect your values and what you think about Christianity and marriage, but you also have to respect other people's. Just because society that you say is built on these Judeo-Christian values doesn't mean that we have to agree with if those values are correct. In terms of the virgin and versus slut shaming, both are equally wrong, but I don't think it needs to be a conversation of what about women, what about men? Because if we're honest, the last 2,000 years, or however many years we'll go back to, the rules have been set by men. All these rules that we complain about have been set by people.
Oh my days, man.
Sorry, Destiny, but Aaron, how can you argue with that?
No one here seems to have like a definitive answer. Everything's very subjective.
Because people in religion don't question anything.
I question everything. Please don't say that.
But you are not allowed to question in the church, right?
That's true. My entire church life, I was put down because I always ask questions.
Traditionally speaking, whether it's a mosque or the temple or in the church, you're supposed to go, most people kind of follow it to the T, word for word system. But within Christianity, there's different denominations of Christianity. You have people that take the Bible exactly as it said. You have those that interpret it and then use it in their everyday to-day life. I think it's not so bad to view marriage as a transaction. Love is love, that's cute and everything, but it's only going to get you so far. Love is not going to keep a roof over your head. Love is not going to help you in tough situations financially. If you want a marriage of 5 weeks, 2 years, okay, focus on love only. But there has to be more than just love for a marriage to work, for a partnership to work.
If we were in real life, that's what people would be doing. I don't think it's really a thing of dating apps are creating hookup culture. I think hookup culture has been here for a long time. You know, you can't just go in a club and you buy a drink, you buy it, and you just, you know.
It makes it easier. Sorry, I know I didn't put my name. It just makes it easier. There's no dance anymore. Like, it's just cut and dry.
Exactly. I can't lie. COVID has not... The whole loneliness thing, I really agree with that. And I downloaded, I downloaded Hinge, the ghetto. People are taking the opportunity to like be who they've always wanted to be, I guess, on these dating apps.
So I just have a question, how you feel about adding your social media to your profile, because I was told that that's like gimmicky or whatever. And I have a thing where if you're hiding that, then what are you hiding? You could put up 4 or 5 profile pictures and look nothing like that in real life. Because if I'm going to go out to dinner with you, and I've had this happen a million times where I'm just stuck there like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I would have done more research.
I think I use it wrong because I don't actually use dating apps to date. I use it more to network. Like, I tell everyone about my podcast. I tell everyone about my YouTube channel. Like, I feel like maybe I should be, I don't know. Literally, like, but with the social media thing, I do think it's okay to have a private life. If you don't want to show it off the bat, you shouldn't be weirded out if someone does ask you through your Twitter or something like that. If you've been talking for a long time, I think, what are you trying to hide? Because like you said, you had some disasters, and like, I can't fight and go to jail. So like, you should have been upfront from the beginning.
I'm not gonna lie, I do feel lonely a lot of times though. I just want this pandemic to be over so bad, just so life can go back to normal. I could go out and start dating and feel comfortable, because how can you even kiss a stranger now? Like, you feel like they have COVID or something.
I actually like the part of the mask so that guys don't just say stupid shit to me on the street.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is great. But like, sometimes I miss a cat call every now and then, you know?
I was going with the main point on it being, I don't think dating sites are a cause of hookup culture. I think they're a result of it. Or the standard of living is going to a point where you can afford to go on a date and like the way it was before. You're spending more time working, trying to actually get by. People who have needs or whatever, or no one has time to actually be like, okay, so I'm going to go on a date on this day. So then this makes it where people want something that's quick and just there, cool, bye. So you actually, in a sense, almost speeds up the process.
The dating process is completely different now. You can just keep dating or seeing each other, like we're seeing each other, and then that goes on for like ages. I see so many scenarios of people that don't know if they're in a relationship or not. They're always like, it's the typical, what are we? You know, the what's going on? What are we? Because no one like puts a label on things anymore, and that's fine because not everyone has to. It goes back to the same thing of saying, you know, do you have to get married? If you really love someone, then you don't really have to get married. It's just essentially like in terms of legal things, and you know, like maybe from business aspect. But other than that, if you genuinely care for someone and genuinely love them, you don't have to. It's just a lot of people are like, we're happy as we are. We don't need to put, you know, sign a piece of paper or to put something physical on our finger to prove that, you know, oh, this is what makes it solid. It's just like what's recognized by the government. But in terms of, the whole process of things now, like a lot of people don't really know what's going on just because there isn't labels on things. So do people think it's better to have labels on things or to just see how you feel as long as the communication's fine? Like, I don't. Because for me, it's completely different. I have never used a dating app before in my life. I've only dated one person in my life, and we've been together for like 9 years. So it's very different for me. I just go based on what I've seen from other people. But then I have friends who have met people on dating apps, and they're doing great.
I'm a Bible college student. I'm very Christian. So most of my perspective is going to come from a biblical standpoint. Kind of touching on the marriage being a piece of paper and stuff like that and not being necessary, which in the culture of today, I would agree. I do think that the culture for today is very much it's a piece of paper, it's a legal document, it's not necessary. From a biblical standpoint, it's a covenant. It's saying, I am committing to be with this person. I'm committing to be with them for life, through the ups, through the downs, and it kind of takes it as less of a feeling and more of a commitment. And from my perspective, most of the world today is focusing on infatuation and the feeling and the emotion, whereas love is a conscious choice. And what marriage is for us is that it is that conscious choice and saying to them, to God, and to everybody else, I am consciously making the decision to be with this person. It takes away the mindset of, if I'm not happy with this person tomorrow, I can just walk away. Like, I don't have to be stuck or have to try to work through things. So for me, I do think that labels are important. I do think that the marital covenant is important as well. That's just my thoughts on that.
I mean, I definitely think that the dating apps have added to my commitment phobia for sure. But yeah, you don't have to, you get bored in 2 seconds and you can just keep it moving, and it's not a good thing.
So back when I wasn't on nothing and I was out here on these streets, yeah. Once upon a time not long ago. Anyway. And I mean it. Right. When I was out here doing whatever the hell I wanted to do, labels weren't a thing for me. And I was a commitment phobe, right? You were my friend, and that's what you were. There was nothing else. Even if there were extracurricular activities occurring, you're my friend. And that's the relationship that we have, right? Then working on myself, then I found my person that I'm with now.
Wow.
And it's also another thing where I knew within myself back then, my brothers taught me, if you don't see yourself getting married to someone, then why are they there? What's the point? And I told him straight from the get-go, I demanded what I wanted. I said, we're dating now because I need to get to know you. And once I feel like I know you, then I will say, be my boyfriend. So I said, okay, you're going to ask me, and you're going to ask me once, and I'm going to say no the first time so you can feel the rejection and know that you didn't die. And then you're going to ask me again and everything's going to be okay. And that's exactly what happened. I said yes on the second time. I wish he was here right now so that he could just be like, yeah. But no. Yeah, so that you can know, rejection is not the be all and end all. He needed to feel it and then know that he didn't die. So he's okay. And you keep it moving.
I have a hard time with today's dating culture just because I do feel like it is super relaxed, although I think relaxed is a good thing at the same time. So I'm not sure where I stand on that. But I'm also one of those people where I very much believe in dating to marry. Like, I believe that marriage is the end goal. And so I'm like, if I don't have an end goal in mind, then why am I dating somebody? And I've never been in an actual relationship. I've been in like things where we're talking, but never really.
Entanglements.
Oh, Lord.
A lot less physical for me personally, but entanglements. We don't want to create baggage for one another. And that's one thing I do think that today's dating culture does a lot, is create baggage with people, because they go into things, they get hurt over and over and over again, because it seems like a lot of today's culture is about finding companionship. And so it's who is going to make me feel not alone. And because of that, we get attached and then we get hurt.
That's true.
I feel like another part of the issue with dating is financial stability. But I noticed a thing with people that live in LA. They're very busy, like they're all working, and a lot of people say there's not a lot of time for a relationship because they're just constantly working.
I thought you were just going to continue the point, but yeah, because what I was going to say was that, just as you're saying that, yeah, people don't have enough time anymore, but at the same time, because of the way we expect things to go, we're all in a rush. And need to have this by this time, and it's being married by this time, and blah, blah, blah. So then it's like, well, you're not even giving enough time for yourself to deal with your shit. And now you want to go date someone else, and then now you're taking on their shit as well. And a lot of times people just jump in, and it's like, they don't even know the person. They're just thinking, yeah, cool, this person looks good. Yeah, 1, 2 things in common. It's all good. Everyone wants their apple of after. And they don't realize that it's actually a car crash. Like, it's just hella issues and getting through the challenges. And they don't seem to realize that, which is why it's like, was it that set the point that's like during COVID, like divorce rates went up? Because now you're actually there, you're with the person, and it's like, well, before you're going to work, I was seeing you in the morning, at night, cool, we're going to sleep. Now I'm seeing you day in, day out, I actually get to know you. And it's like, we actually don't have that much in common. We actually do we even like each other like that? Because we've rushed through things, because we have to have this by a certain time, with some people anyway, and then it just results in that. So yeah, we just be rushing.
My friends always tell me, like, you know, when you're dating, date 4 or 5 guys. And I'm like, oh, okay, hold on. I need a babysitter for all these 4 or 5 guys. I could not be talking to this person and they ask me the same question 4 times. I can't date 4 or 5 people. I'm the type of person, if I get a connection with one person, I feel like I'm the type of person that I put all my eggs in one basket. And when she says to date 4 or 5 guys, I can't see the time. And I feel like after my relationship with my son's dad, it's like, I'm trying to figure out now, what do I want in the next person for like my future partner type of thing. But when she says 4 or 5 guys, I can't, that's too much. That's too much. And I don't know how people do that.
I feel you. It gets overwhelming. Like as we've said, when I was in the streets a little while ago, I mean, I'm not there no more. I'm not in the streets no more.
Yeah.
Like you can't focus. Like it can be overwhelming. I think it depends on your personality type. Like some people are good at naturally multitasking or having multiple things on at once, whereas some people like they have more of a tunnel or blinkered vision when they do things. So I feel like when you have the same 3 good morning texts every day, it's like.
Exactly that. One of you, can you go? Can someone drop out, please? Because it's like it's a bit too much.
And it's energy as well. I mean, I don't know, and everyone agrees with the energy thing, but Jaden and Anacola said something that was really, really interesting and really true about the whole I think the whole baggage thing. I think we don't let ourselves move on. So we're just building blocks of literally trust issues, baggage. Then there's the ghosting, there's the hurting. It's like, okay, I'm going to try and put myself out there again. And then someone will ghost you or someone will do something. Yeah. And it's like, we don't really give ourselves time to just, like, I've always found it weird, the people who get into relationships, they break up and the next week they're with someone new. Like, you were just in a whole relationship for 2 years, like putting time, energy, effort. And like, the next month we're like, oh, I love someone else. Like, I know we have a lot of love in our hearts, but I just find it crazy how you can, like, I don't know, like, it's just a lot. I just think that's a lot. And also just kind of bringing it back to the question in terms of dating nowadays and traditional relationships. I think at the start someone said something really important. I think it was Ruth, and I think you asked like what traditional relationships are in this time. Because there's so many different ways families looks like. I saw there's now like multi-adult families where you have, you know, 2 partners, a partnership who's married, and then another person who's like their boyfriend or girlfriend. You have polyamory, which is seen a rise in the West. You have friendship families now where friends are choosing to co-parent together. I just think like Ade said, dating apps are a result of our culture nowadays, and people are so used to instant gratification. If you want a light bulb, you can go on Amazon and it arrives at your door in 8 hours. Like, so how do you expect people to find, you know, be concentrated on one person when we have this instant like connection?
Yeah. So first I wanted to reply to Nicholas, sorry, about like the career, work, different priorities kind of getting in the way. I feel like those conflicts and those mindsets also stem from the lack of desire, today's culture's lack of desire for marriage and the lack of the idea of permanency of marriage. We don't view marriage as being permanent or being like lifelong. And so we're a lot more worried about focusing on our career one-on-one because we want to make sure we're ready for whoever the next person is going to be and stuff like that. Whereas for me, from a biblical standpoint, I have that permanency of marriage. And so I actually look forward to working through a career with somebody. I look forward to going through all the different walks of life, all the different struggles and all those different things, and having somebody by my side to work with. Granted, I am also gonna be a pastor, so mine very family focused. I've noticed that in today's culture, you have the opposite end of the spectrum where a lot of people are putting marital level commitment and effort into something that's not a marital level relationship. Like people are dating, but they're trying to make something work that doesn't necessarily have to work.
Just say that one more time for the people at the back. Just say that one more time. Everyone needs to hear that. Say it again.
People are putting into a non-marital relationship. Like there isn't that covenant there, and people are still trying to make it work as if they are in one. And so I feel like that causes a lot of the baggage, causes a lot of the just issues that I see within the dating culture. Yeah, that's the word. So those are my thoughts.
I was really talking to myself. It was weird. I think it's important to say that I think it's a long day. I think it's important to remember that not everyone believes in God. So like, for some people, the idea of marriage being a covenant or it being like, it doesn't apply to them. I don't know. I hear the whole, if you don't want to get married to someone, there's no point in dating them. But I don't agree. I feel like it depends on the stage of life you're in. Like, in your 20s, not everyone wants to have a serious relationship. Some people are just dating to get to know people or find out more about each other. I think also when you date someone, you find out things that you may not have known about yourself. Like, I don't know. I think it's I'm not saying you shouldn't have the objective to be married, but I don't think you have to have that in your mind.
Why are you trying to be all up in my life if you ain't serious?
No.
If you ain't about it?
No, but then
You know what I mean? No, if we both have the agreement, or if we're on the same page, like Jaden and his lovely lady, they're on the same page, right? But if you know that you're a relationship type person, and you know that you're that way orientated, and you know that you're talking to someone to be serious, then do that. Be about that yourself.
So do you think you can be in a serious relationship without having the objective of marriage? Or not even thinking about marriage?
Yes, because I haven't always been about, for me personally, the reason why I'm getting married is so that I can have good credit and get a good mortgage and all of those things. That's the reason why I'm getting married, right? For me, I don't like the concept of a westernized piece of paper that's telling me that I'm with this person. If I'm with the person, I'm with the person in it. And if I want to take a name, then I just go to the register office and I'll change my name. But I understand where other people have that concept. So no, I don't think if you're in a serious relationship, you're about marriage. But I think if you're in a serious relationship, then you're with that person for life. Otherwise,
some people
why are you
some
here?
people been together 10 years and no marriage. Like, man can't be with me 10 years and there's no marriage.
No,
What's going on over there?
Can I just say something? Because I mentioned earlier, I've been with my partner for about 9 years, right? I'm 24 years old. And going back to, someone mentioned financial stability earlier. I can't remember who it was, but 24-year-old living in London, let me tell you right now, I'm still living with my parents. It is incredibly hard to move out and incredibly hard to find a job that is paying well, that's not taxing you that much, in order for you to find a place that is decent, that's, close enough to your job where you're not traveling and spending unnecessary money for that long. But I'm not trying to digress too much. The point is, everybody has their own timing for things, right? So a lot of times I feel like that's where social media has kind of ruined things a little bit, because everybody has this concept of, like, when I was younger, it was like, oh, gotta be married by 22, have kids, have this, have that. Like, but really, like, it fucks with your mental health, because a lot of people, there's been so many times I've been sitting here thinking, oh my God, like the clock's ticking, like I haven't done anything with my life, like what's going on, should we be doing this by now? Should we be doing that by now? And then you kind of like throw yourself into a spiral, and that's not fair, because everybody has their own timing for things. Like, there are people who have like got married after knowing each other for a year, and they're like perfectly happy. Or there are people that, have been in relationships for a really long time and have been engaged for a really long time and not actually got married, not got to that stage yet, or whatever. Like, I just believe that everybody's timing is different. And like, by all means, if you believe you should be married by then and you've been together for that long, then like you voice that to your partner and say, hey, look, I feel like we should be on this page by now. And if they're not on the same page, it just goes back to communication. But in terms of dating app, I feel like it can be good for a lot of introverts as well. It can be good and bad in terms of those things. But I just think everyone's timing is different, and like, people just got to respect that. As long as you're on the same page with each other in the relationship and you have that communication, going back to the label thing, like, if you say, no, we're this, then establish that, because that's where it can get confusing. But if not, and you're both just living life, being free, having fun, then you do you, because your relationship isn't affecting me.
I was going to say, I blame rom-com. I feel like rom-coms gave everyone this picture perfect idea.
Oh my
You're gonna meet
Lord.
at school, you're gonna bump each other. Oh my God, you can drop your books. Oh my God, thank you. Like,
no.
that's not like, no, I mean, like, yo, no. Like, those Look, Lizzie McGuire, Hilary Duff, her movies had me fucked up. I thought my life was gonna be like that for real. Like you're gonna meet at the football game or something like that, and then be kissing under the stars when it's raining.
Because they set these expectations for us, and we thought life was going to go that way, but everyone's life is different.
Yeah.
Well, the thing with rom-coms is that they don't show what happens afterward. They don't show, they only show the easy stuff. Or it gets, for a week, we had a problem. And it's like, there's a lot more than just that's going to happen, but sure. Okay. But going back to Destiny's thing about like, do we have to be dating? Like if in order to date somebody, does it have to be the end goal of marriage? I feel like there's a difference. I'm not sure if it has been said yet between dating, and just going on dates, and dating as in a relationship. I feel like for me personally, if I'm going to be in a relationship with somebody, it is going to be with the end goal of marriage. However, if I'm just dating somebody, we're going on dates, having a good time, learning about each other, like trying just to kind of feel things out, see, do we connect, all those things. No, I don't think, for me personally, marriage is always in the back of my mind just because that's how I'm kind of hardwired. But I'm not like actively being like, okay, we're going on a couple of dates. I don't see myself marrying this person. I'm not going to go on dates with them. So for me, it's less about like what is the right timing in the sense of career, in the sense of, oh crap, I'm not turning 25, but I'm turning 25. I'm not married yet. I'm behind. Like, I don't think that'll ever be a thought in my mind just because I'm personally putting my trust in somebody other than myself and just being like, cool, it'll all work out the way it's supposed to. I don't think there is a right time to be married other than emotionally, mentally, maybe financially.
Definitely financially. Oh my God.
Definitely. Oh yeah, you shouldn't be bringing in a bunch of financial baggage into somebody else's life. But like as a college student, I'm not worried about sure that I am like set before getting married just because again, I'm looking forward to working through those things with somebody.
How old are you? 20?
Yeah, I'm 20.
Yeah.
I told my man from the get-go, I ain't got good credit, so when we move in together, that's on your name.
Stop living, like, obviously not you, but people need to stop living in La La Land and thinking, oh yeah, he loved me, we gonna ride this out. No, you ain't. Because like you said, yeah, if you got bad credit and I've got bad credit and we looking at each other like, so we're gonna sleep in a bus shelter?
Wait, can you explain this credit thing to me? Wait, so when you marry someone, you get their credit?
No,
what?
So you could open up a joint bank account.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
And if you're married and you take their name and like a credit search is on, yeah, like, and you guys live together and things, it's affecting that. So their bad credit might still affect your bad credit and stuff like that. So these are things that you need to like obviously know and diverge. Like obviously, like we're saying, not everyone's gonna date to marry, but if you're gonna date for longevity and you still want to have bank accounts together and living together, because like we said, we're in a different, like, society's changed now. It's not, if I don't marry you, you're not living in your mother's house. It doesn't work like that anymore. Like everyone can have their relationship however they want, but if you're dating for longevity, you can't do it just on the basis of just love, because love will kill you there. Like, just date. And that's why I feel like dating apps aren't really, for me, they're not really. I downloaded Tinder one time just because I was bored and I wanted to make friends. And obviously I realized that people weren't on to make friends, and I make friends as like, I feel like the older you get, the harder it is to make friends. So I just wanted, and I'm the person, I made it clear in my bio, just looking for friends. Somebody was like, oh, they were asking me, why did I put that in my bio? And I was like, because I'm literally just looking for friends. And to them, they thought I put that there because in case a family member saw my bio and I was trying to hide down looking for something more. I said, nah, G, I just want to connect. Like, I ain't got no friends. I'm sitting here, Billy, no, mate. Let's chit chat.
Yeah, like literally want to network, like try and meet people.
That's
and
it.
Like I guess, I mean, maybe.
And then I just had to delete it because I was just like, you lot ain't even cute anyway, so I don't understand what's going on.
You may have that potential, but it could be wasted. Like, you gotta work for it. It's not just gonna happen overnight. Like, you could be.
Say that again for the people. Say that again for the people in the back. Say that again. You have to what first?
Like, you have to work for, like I'm trying to be an actor, but like, you gotta put yourself out there. You gotta network. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. Like, it's not gonna happen overnight. Like they think. Like, you may get lucky and go into that casting, and you could be on the next Euphoria. But you got to work for it, and sometimes you gotta take that leap of faith. But sitting on the couch saying you have the potential that's not going to do anything.
Tell them again, please.
Louder.
I feel like people forget that a huge part of potential is willingness and effort, because somebody can have the potential to do something, but if they have no willingness or desire to put in the effort, then they don't have the potential to do anything.
Faith is dead without works.
What?
Oh,
Yeah,
come on.
It's called, and it's like action. What is?
Speak louder than words.
But it's like something like, you know, results don't come without action, basically. Like, how many people want to be actors, singers, dancers, lawyers? Well, you're sitting on your couch watching Netflix for 8 hours a day. So let's be real here. You know?
Thank you. This is what I said the other day. Successful people are not sitting at home playing PlayStation 5. Okay? So my son is
Wait.
I don't business. So Bill Gates was not sitting at home, yeah. When he was making Microsoft, he was not sitting at home doing pew 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 pew. No, he was not playing Call of Duty. Okay.
But success comes in different levels. Like what you're doing now, that is your success. Some people ain't even doing that. You know, some people wish to be where you are. So success doesn't have to be, you don't have to be a millionaire or a billionaire to be successful. So
then isn't part of the issue with that for a lot of us now it's going to a case where, because of social media, we are measuring our success by what other people think.
Oh yeah.
Okay, my opinion, a lot of people pretend to be something that they're not. And so now we idolizing something that's not even real and what it's really about. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. So social media, we can put up a front. I can post these cars, that cars, look like I got money, and my bank account is in a negative. But you seeing these Bentleys, you seeing these BMW, you seeing this and then the third. So now you thinking, oh, we going on vacations. You thinking, oh, I want a relationship like that. They look like, and he probably bopped me up across my head.
I think one of the worst things to come out of social media in terms of relationships is the idea of relationship goals, because everyone sees pictures of you like feeding your man lobs crab legs and thinks that their relationship is perfect. And like you said, really, he's got like 3 different baby moms on the go at once. You didn't even know. So it's like, I just think in terms of the whole like kind of bring it back about social media and dating nowadays, I think it's important to remember in the midst of everything that's going on, whether it's like everyone just living their life and living their best life, which is fine as long as you do it safely, that things do have consequences. I think it's important to remember that. And also, like you said, don't believe everything that you see online. It's so easy to be in your feelings and think shit is not going right, or go if you've been dating online or dating in real life, whatever the case may be, and like, why is it just not happening for me, but it's happening for everyone around you? You do not know what goes on in people's houses, no matter what pictures they're posting online, no matter what they even tell you. That's why I don't know about you lot, yeah, but I've decided when my friends have relationship problems, I don't get involved. Like, they'll ask you for your opinion, but you're still gonna go back to him anyway. So why are you crying to him on the phone for 2 hours telling me I hate him, he ain't shit, he's a fucking idiot? But the next day you're on Snapchat like, hey, man, I'm in my bed.
I think I wanted to, so again, back to the ultimate question about, is dating that kind of ruining the traditional sense of relationship? I would say no. The reason I would say no is because it's subjective. Those that want a traditional relationship will still go down having a traditional relationship, whether that's meeting through the bar or meeting on social media app. What it's actually done is provided a different platform for people to be able to interact and meet.
I 100% agree with Dami. Like Jaden was saying as well, I believe a lot in God's timing. I saw a quote the other day that said, if it doesn't open, it's not your door. So people, again, go back to what Ruth was saying, don't be forcing things. Like, just you do you. If you're happy with it, then you're happy with it. Like, if you want to go on a dating app, if you want to just be friends, if you want to just hook up, like, you do that. But you can't expect everybody to be on the same page. So as long as there's that communication there, and as long as everybody is happy in their own aspect, then let people do what they're gonna do.
Do what you want to do. If you want to go on a dating app, if you want to whatever you want to do, it's not my business, it's not my concern. If you're my friend, as long as you're happy, that person makes you happy, doesn't disrespect you, put your hands on you, then I'm 100% all for it. And plus, the world's changing, you know, we're evolving. So
I think probably 20 years from now, 10 years, people are going to be meeting on dating apps because no one's not going to be going out. Everyone's stuck in their house.
So, as you guys know, I like to end with some sort of solution or move forward because that's just how I am. So I will start with the telling people about themselves. The reason why things are not working is because of you. Whoever is sitting here watching is you. Yeah? Take accountability for your actions and responsibility for what you're doing. If you're on straight clarting, then you're on straight clarting. And just be honest about that. There's nothing wrong with that, but own it. Yeah? Own it. If you're a relationship type person and you come across someone who is not a relationship type person, do not try and have your cake and eat it too. You have to I'm going to say pray, but I'm also going to add, because I know, not everybody believes in God, but there's the elements and the fundamentals are still there. Yeah. Whomever you are praying to, and even if you're just sitting there meditating to yourself, discernment is the number one key. The ability to get to know someone and know that they are for you. Anyone else that someone that needs to know what discernment is, that is the key. Yeah. Stop jumping in with any and anybody. Take your time, get to know them, and then decide whether they are for you or not. Take care of yourself and you will get there.
I think that is a perfect way to end. Like, you lot really spoke. Okay? I hope you guys literally, like, round of applause, like, literally.
My
like,
brother's in the back, he was like, amen, 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 when Ruth was talking.
No, but Ruth, you were spitting, like, you brought us home. And I think I want to say again, thank you to everyone, especially to the new people. Like, your opinions have been greatly appreciated, and for people that were here before as well. And thank you for watching episode 3. We hope you enjoyed. Make sure to follow everyone on social media. And yeah, like Ruth said, if you want to clart, if you want a relationship, don't do that. And we shall see you next week. Bye. Don't do that. And we shall see you next week. Bye.